because I know there's a lot of people in, whether it's fitness consulting, business consulting, whatever. So I figured make a video, see if I can help more people out in the future. But this one's for you. The question was, how do you know what to charge for consulting? So the specifics of this question was for fitness consulting, fitness coaching. How do you know what to charge for it? But I think it's applicable in business consulting, marketing consulting, fitness consulting, whatever you're fucking probably planting consulting, whatever type of consulting you're doing, it's probably applicable. Two things before we start. One, if you don't like what I have to say, just throw it out. Pretend I know nothing, let's say. Any advice I give in any of these videos are from either my thoughts or my experiences and what's worked for me. Doesn't mean it'll work for you, so anything, just assume I know nothing. But if it does work for you, if you do like it, take it, run with it. I wish you the most success with it. And then two, take written notes. In my previous videos, I was like going through, seeing what worked and what didn't. I was realizing the reason I make my videos how I make them is because I want them to be like strategic. I find that a lot of the people that are on YouTube are making videos that are all noise. So I'm going to cut this really short. And it's just talking about like noisy bullshit that has nothing to do with like actual strategic tactical stuff. So take notes of the tactical stuff, like the Mercari videos, going through and saying, post this, like this, do that, all that stuff. So I made it all strategic things. So take notes so then you can reincorporate it and you'll remember it better also cognitively, but you also have a copy so you don't have to watch the full video again. Now, to get right into it, to answer the question, and how to know how much to charge. I look at it from what is it worth to a couple of different things. One, what's it worth to the client? So if it's fitness specific, let's say if you have to know what your market is. So you're not trying to serve every single person out there that has fitness goals. Somebody might be like a Jilly Swole client that's paying a couple $100 a month because they want that high-end fitness packaging, or somebody might just want to lose 20 pounds so you can just sell them a shake or something. So knowing what it's worth to your specific client, they might, if they're 200 pounds overweight, they might be willing to pay anything to get that weight down and have somebody coach them to get that weight down. If they just want a simple, like, whatever type thing, they might only be willing to pay $20-$50 a month or for like personal one-on-one coaching lessons once a week. So when you're doing your prospecting and when you're doing the selling itself, I like to make everything custom because everybody is different for the most part. So when you're doing your sales presentation with them, break down what their needs are, and then if they have a budget in place, then work off that. Break down what their needs are worth to them, if you can like get in the mind of the consumer, and then base it off that. Next on my list, I have what can your target market afford? So from a social media example, because this is what I know, I have some clients that might have a $10,000, $15,000 a month budget. The restaurants that are only doing 10 grand a month in revenue aren't going to have that same budget. So when you're in your prospecting, like I said earlier in the video, only be talking to people that can afford your product or service. It makes no sense to waste either of your time if you're trying to charge people at $200 a month or whatever it is for fitness and they can only afford 10, 20, 50, it makes no sense to waste your time because your time's valuable and you're not going to be professionally selling. If anything, if you do close that sale, they can't afford it. I would look at that more as scammy than professional selling and like actually being able to help the customer, which is why I love sales so much, because all it is providing value to people that need it and getting past their limiting beliefs that they have them, because you have the confidence in yourself in the fitness coaching and your product service that you'll be able to improve their life. So knowing what your target market can afford, that way you're only getting in front of the right people, and then it's super, super simple in the sales process. And you can even ask them, hey, do you have like a budget for how much you want to pay a month, or just price it? Like a lot of it's A/B testing and learning, so you'll learn through it too, but that's just one of the things I add on the list. I like to, in my business, see what's the expected ROI in the time frame. So, perfect example, because everyone keeps going to my website and saying, why is a 1 hour phone call worth $5 grand? Because I know that not a lot of people that are my age or younger, especially like let's say 25 and younger, are going to pay that amount because a lot of them don't have the confidence and belief in themselves. But there's still all the kids in Cali probably pay that for courses now anyway. But it's going to only get the people who are serious about what they're doing, who are willing to make that investment. Yet at the same time, I have all the confidence in the world that I can make somebody back $5 grand in a month, if not shorter than that. Worst case scenario, lifetime value, that's going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars from the experience I've had, from the knowledge I've gained and all that stuff. So I know that I can provide that, like more than that $5,000 in value in that phone call. So as long as you know that you can provide in a fitness case, the ROI might be losing weight or gaining bigger like body parts or toning a certain thing, how long it's going to take for them to get that, and then how long it would take if they went somewhere else. I don't believe in, on the bottom of my list I talk about, I do not believe in pricing based on competition. I have competition that charges a fifth of what I charge. Like there's good deals and there's bad deals. Sometimes you have to pass them up. I charge 5 times what some of my competition charges. I know I probably have competition in California that charges 5 to 10 times what I charge. So you're not going to be able to be everything for everyone. Don't even stress the people that are going to undercut you, because psychologically I also associate a lower price with a lower quality. That's why I never ever use the word free, because free means $0. And I never use the word cheap. I use inexpensive, because cheap is a negative connotation. Free, I think, has a negative connotation unconsciously. People might not recognize it, but yeah. Next on my list, I have what's it going to cost you to provide that. So, and time wise, I don't believe in working for money for time. So I don't trade my time for money. I day trade time. I look at money and time as other people can do it. So I'll trade other people's time for that money and allocate my money to trade other people's time. So what's it going to take, one, for you to facilitate either your time or someone else's time to get what that client needs done. If it's just you and you're only doing a certain amount of, like a small amount of revenue in the beginning, and you're passionate about it. So it's simple to do when you're passionate about it, because then you're not really doing it for the money, and the money is just a byproduct of it, which is all like every multi-billion dollar company CEO will tell you. Like, if you just focus on the business, the money will come. And in the beginning, like when you're not familiar with that, when you've either had a job or haven't had a business do it like making a lot of money, the initial focus is driving revenue, because then if you're not driving revenue, I don't really look at it as a business. But without going on a complete tangent, what's it going to cost if you had employees to either pay them to do the fitness coaching for them, the service, provide the service or get the product in place and all that stuff, in a dollar amount, because it's going to cost you, whether the employee's time, your time, whatever. If you're comfortable trading your time for money, then what's your time worth? And then just do it based off that. It's all what you're comfortable with. And then last on my list, what others are charging. I am so against this, because there's always going to be somebody undercutting you. I had 2 employees that I had to fire in the past who wanted to do their own social media company, and it made no sense to go after the clients that they were trying to take from my company, because they were just undercutting the price. You have to have your own standards in place. You just have to have your standards in place. If other people's standards are lower than yours, that has nothing to do with you. That's all outside noise. Don't even worry about it. There's always going to be somebody undercutting you. But I love the model of having a premium product, premium service, so then you can charge more. The margins are more. You have a lot more like flexibility, freedom, and everything outside of that is just noise. I hope that answered your question. If you have any other questions, let me know. I'd be happy to help.